My name is Tom Waters, and this is a quick episode of Sales in Cinema. Salesmen in pop culture are often portrayed as slick-haired, money-grubbing opportunists who will say anything to make an extra buck. So why is it that some of our favorite sales roles perpetuate that stereotype? Why do we love those rousing speeches in Boiler Room and The Wolf of Wall Street, where hundreds of agents in the bullpen are being rallied to lie through their teeth to close their next deal? Let's take a look at the approach these fictional sales leaders use to thrill us into submission. Today we're going to analyze Ben Affleck's famous speech in Boiler Room and learn about the core differences between persuasion and manipulation. In the beginning of the scene, Ben Affleck walks into the room and immediately establishes himself as a governing personality by laying claim to a chair at the head of the table.
Sorry, man. That's my seat.
That's understandable considering he's a partner at the firm, but my favorite part about this move is that he doesn't even sit in the chair. Before he even gets started, he immediately sends two candidates home.
Dumbass.
Get the out of here.
What?
He sends the first person home for insulting a fellow applicant.
Okay.
He sends the second one home by claiming that the position is a training program.
I have a Series 7 license.
Good for you. You can get out too.
The more likely reason is that the experienced broker will quickly understand that the operation is a fraud. But from the audience's perspective, sending two people out of the room when he first walks in takes care of three persuasive principles. Authority. His actions command the undivided attention from everyone in the room. An engaged audience is easier to persuade than a distracted one. Scarcity. It increases the value of the remaining seats. Anyone who didn't get sent home will now feel relieved to be on the winning side of the selective process. Reciprocity. By defending a candidate who was insulted by one of his peers, he establishes that he's willing to stand up for the team. This action creates a sense of social debt that makes the remaining candidates feel a need to pay it back in some way. Now that he's established himself as a person of power and secured the attention of his audience, he reinforces these concepts with his opening line.
Here's the deal. I'm not here to waste your time. Okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm going to keep this short. Become an employee of this firm, you will make your first $1 million within 3 years.
Now that's a really bold statement. This is called the hook, and is designed to evoke an immediate emotional response that will be the underlying motivator used to influence the group. Here's where the speech moves away from persuasion and into manipulation.
I'm going to repeat that. You will make $1 million within 3 years of your first day of employment at JT Marley.
Everyone is so charmed about the idea of becoming a millionaire that no one is thinking about who will actually survive long enough to get there, nor are they thinking about the tough sacrifices they'll have to endure to reach such a desired status.
Now y'all look money hungry, and that's good.
This is tremendous in the world of sales. How can someone look money hungry? It's total fluff, but what he's doing here is taking advantage of their new emotional state by telling them exactly who they are, so they don't need to think for themselves. Their focus is distracted by his bold statement.
I drive a Ferrari. What's up?
He proceeds to vividly describe the extent of his wealth in order to allow his audience to picture themselves in his shoes. This is the sizzle in the phrase, selling the sizzle. His embellishments are exciting, but more importantly, he makes them feel within reach.
I am a millionaire. It's a weird thing to hear, right? Tell you, it's a weird thing to say.
This puts him on their level, sharing his own wonder and delight in his success.
I am a millionaire. I guess how old I am. 27.
Everyone in the room is thinking to themselves, I can do this. Once he has them hooked and has his prospect fantasizing about their new potential future, he can now establish what he wants.
So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
This is the part of the speech that introduces the reality of what it takes to actually secure their desired goals. He starts with a very logical and completely obvious requirement of becoming a millionaire at his firm.
You are required to work your f***ing ass off at this firm.
You have to work hard. He reinforces the necessity of hard work by creating an us versus everyone else perspective.
We want winners here, not pikers. A piker walks at the bell.
Who would ever want to identify themselves as a piker? He's polarizing the room to position his next statements to be accepted quickly and without much consideration.
Piker asks how much vacation time you get in the first year. Vacation time?
This gets registered by the candidates as, I don't want to be a piker, so I guess I don't really need a vacation. Then he hits them with a harsh reality of the situation.
Okay. First 3 months at the firm or as a trainee, you make $150 a week. After
He rattles it off like a side effects disclaimer on a prescription medicine commercial.
accounts for your team leader. You open 40 accounts, you start working for yourself. Sky's the limit.
3 months of committing full-time work for less than half a typical minimum wage. After that, you still have to open 40 accounts before you have the privilege of working for yourself, but really at his firm. It's a pretty crazy setup, and he knows it, which is why he has to sell it. And it's why his speech is so interesting, but he's not done. The high of becoming a millionaire is slowly fading with this serious commitment he just dropped. So he has to reinforce a group mentality to prepare the team to expect and then reject any outside influence that may stand between their shared goals.
Word or two about being a trainee, your friends, your parents, the other brokers, whoever, they're going to give you shit about it. It's true. $150 a week, not a lot of money, but pay them no mind. You need to learn.
The sales methodology applied here uses elitism, exclusivity, and emotional exploits to sell a dream to new recruits. These new hires will work themselves to the bone for this firm and isolate themselves from their loved ones because of a carefully crafted speech. We as an audience are energized and enchanted by the confidence in his manipulation, and the speech worked as intended.
Okay, that's it.
We all got sold. Want to learn more about sales theory and pop culture? Be sure to like and subscribe to get notified of our next segment.